now Germans pushed us against that river. And there was no way to escape. They bombarded the bridge. There was a bridge. When we approached that river, I see already dead horses, swollen bellies up, and stinks. They're tremendous. Dead horses here. Oh my goodness. Chaos.
Warning, the frontline testimony you're about to hear is, at times, extremely graphic. The realities of war are often difficult, but it's vitally important that these stories are told and the lessons are learned. Viewer discretion is advised.
My name is George Markov. In Russian it would be Georgy Nikolaevich Markov. We lived on the shores of Baltic Sea, to be exact, at Finnish Bay. We managed to survive by land and fishing. I still remember digging for potatoes in the backyard. I was about 4 years old, 5 maybe, don't remember exactly. I found a hand grenade, and brought home. And Dad saw me, the grenade in hand. He froze right there and told me not to move. He took the grenade behind the house and disposed somehow, I don't know. I couldn't find it anymore. I was looking for it. I couldn't find it. We took home Finnish until about 7, 8 years. And then everything was switched to Russian. We had to go to Russian school, learn Russian language. But with my parents, I still talk Finnish at home. So I was 7 years old. I had to go to school in Russian. We were called for a pre-exposure to army life, what facing us and what we're going to be doing. And we should be very proud to defend mother homeland. That's an honorable job for you. We already learned how to use a small caliber rifle. And a rifle, a real army rifle, what they used during the war, we had to take apart and get back together again in 3 minutes. And that was in grade 5. I met one girl. She was from Leningrad, sent to our area to teach all the people Russian language. And that was for her first time. Nighttime, too, she was completely lost, no idea where she's going or got to go. So that's where I came handy, and I felt that I guide her to place where she wants to go. And she was good company. And she struck me. She was so beautiful. Her name was Claudia. I was 19 years old, and they were talking about army, joining army. There was no volunteers, and there was no... Actually, that was accepted, that we report to army station, and we are accepted automatically. We get on a train, which was only to army, not to us. And that train to ride to Leningrad. But there were 6 boys from our villages. We get to Leningrad early next day, all through the night. Yeah, now in the army, that's where I miss my mom. I was the only one, and I get the best from the family if there was something to treat the boy. I miss them terribly. When you're in army, you got to dress in 3 minutes. You whistle, you get off in bed, sleepy. You got to dress yourself and be in the line with straight out line with the rifle ready to fight in 3 minutes. First, in 3 months, we didn't see civil population. We were behind a high fence, and they were brainwashed. Not them. Politruco is a political guy who brainwashes you too. And we were just falling asleep there, listening to the story about revolution and what we are here doing honorable job. And how it happened, I was on a duty that time. That means telegrams coming in, I had to pick them up, put them on the order, and send that to officer in duty. So telegrams, usually they come 1, 2 all night. And I had a guy here or there who took that telegram to proper station, proper person. But that night, telegrams kept coming. I couldn't handle. I could handle, but person who was taking telegrams to station, he couldn't keep up. So I called for help, which they sent another soldier. He was helping me. And I couldn't figure out what's going on that night. Not long after, maybe half an hour, trumpet blew, like army trumpet, alarm. Alarm means trevoga, is it something serious happened. So not long after, we found out that Germany attacked Russia. And that's the reason for those telegrams. And everything went in turmoil that day. We broke the barracks, those tents together and packed them up. And fast as we could, on a train back to Bryansk. There, everything was just unbelievable how we got new uniforms, new rifles, new shoes, everything new. And same day, we're marching to the front. Everything happened so fast that it's hard to prescribe to mention. Same day, we were in Orsha, and I see first city being bombarded by Germans. Houses were still burning, lots in ruins. And that we get first look at the war. Now we went farther in a bush and made that station there in a swampy area that we had to put a log bridge to get there. And that's where they put that apparatus that I worked on. So everything was ready and we took off out of bush, like, in the field. And there was one plane was flying there around. We didn't pay attention. Slow plane, like, in research or looking the area over. We didn't even know whose plane. Our Russian planes were taken out of service by Stalin because they had too many losses in planes and pilots. So Stalin took that planes out of service, and we were without cover from air. So we didn't pay attention too much to that plane. It couldn't take long. Suddenly, Stukas coming, German planes, 18 of them. Oh, smoke. And soon they landed just about over us. They threw bombs. But there was nothing from our side to try to shoot them. Just rifle that bring them down. No artillery against nothing but to cover us. So they stopped the trucks, and I jumped in a potato field. And the greenery was high already. I was ripping by hand and covering and digging the hole in the ground to hide my face. I had an aluminum pot in my backpack, and that was shiny. I was trying to cover that up. And they come, you notice nobody can hurt them. Plane coming down to about 100 meters and showing us fist. Make you feel. And through machine gun going up under fire. That lasted about 15 minutes. And the plane took off, and we had a couple of trucks burning. We mounted trucks, let go, leave everything, hiding somewhere in the bush, the trucks. We managed to survive. And we get to a new station, completely, almost back. Take again, take the ranges where you could hide from the planes, always take cover. And on one occasion, we get to a place, and lieutenant said, take trench, meter deep, half a meter wide, for against the airplanes when they're coming, that you can hide yourself in a ditch, deep ditch, meter deep. So we reached another bush, and ideal for install our telegraphic equipment and all that machinery I didn't know much about. I only knew that how to write. And being in the station, big generals like Kurichkin, Zhukov wasn't there. Zhukov didn't. They came there and gave a report to Stalin, but it happened during the day on the front. Front was always 10, 15 kilometers ahead of us. On one occasion, a couple, I think it was, anyway, they're talking about Stalin was on the station. They talk military, but numbers only. I couldn't understand what I was writing. Just 3, 5, 7, I couldn't read that. But then they start private talk with Stalin. On one occasion, I remember, I think it was Kurichkin, said, Tavarish Stalin, take my wife, please, out of Moscow, because Moscow could be bombarded. He says, already done, Stalin said back. They switched already now to plain talking, the numbers. So I didn't talk personally to Stalin, but I translated what was going on. So that's one occasion only I talked with Stalin. Russians retreated already to Vyazma, but Moscow go town. And we are, like as usual, always in a bush. And suddenly, everything came. No orders coming from nowhere. Nobody tells you that go there, that go there. Quiet, no fire, no cannon fire. So I met my friend from our village. We were together, and he knew that he's guarding a gas station, underground drums of gas. He was guarding that. He says, I think we are surrounded. He told me that. I think we are surrounded. But no fire. How come surrounded? But that night already, we didn't see no officers belonging to our lieutenants. And they're not there. We're like a bunch of sheep. Soldiers without leadership, So we started walking towards Moscow. And we're in the bush. Nobody gives any orders. We are just like a bunch of sheep, like I said. So somebody else already took over, from a small guy, because he had a 603 thing. He must be sergeant in a small guy. He said, I'm your officer now. So he told us to attack that village. We went through village, there's nothing, nobody shooting, nothing. Only when we went, already my friend and myself, not the Jewish friend, a different friend, guy. We went on the top of that village, then fire come from a neighboring town. It's a little on a hill, and from there, but it was night time, dark, getting dark. From there, fire, and I jumped behind the truck. So I survived, and I started sliding towards the bush, with a hill down, and now was the bush there. I get there, all strange people never seen, all soldiers naturally, but all same boat, looking for escape. Some said, let's go towards Moscow. Others said, heck with Moscow, we don't want to go there. Different of opinion. But to find out that nobody likes Stalin. So we decided to walk towards Moscow. Bryansk, there's a Vyazma, lots of bush. Bush. So I kind of, with one fellow, he looked kind of friendly with him. So when we go, a couple of days later already, we're getting hungry, nothing to eat. If we go to village, ask for them, they probably give you a couple of potatoes. They got nothing to give. And that way we walked, already snow started falling. And I with that guy sleeping in a bush, and we hear fire still going on in one village. Let's say it sounds like half a mile from us, fire. And we don't know who is shooting who or what. And we're lying down, in bushes, and suddenly we hear men's voices. And we couldn't detect the Germans or Russians. So we start follow them. They went, maybe Russians, we didn't know. Follow open field. Suddenly, behind us. Hold, hold, German, hold, hold, stop. Turn around, there's a soldier with a machine gun, like he could cut us in pieces in no time. Young guy, boy, really. You come into prison, give yourself a prison. Food was difficult, and there were scraps and things like that, or the other guys who killed the horses, they didn't want to eat, so we lick their fingers and get something there. Or ask people, villages, can they get us some? Sometimes we get potatoes, sometimes we said they haven't got nothing. But one case I like to mention that saved probably my life. We were working on a usual, keeping the road passable, potholes covered up. I had a boots on, Russian boots on, and no warm socks, rags. And my feet were frozen, especially that. And here you can show the mark, this white toes. And I went to ask for a bread, German woman. She came, opened the door. Oh, son, she said, we were young. And she said, oh, son, you're in bad shape. Yeah, it's nothing. I said, my foot is frozen. And she said, oh, wait a minute, I got something for you. And that lady bought me those boots. And I put them on right there and then. That, I would say, saved my life too. I'm forever thankful. I still have marks on the toes. And there are good and bad people on both sides. On German side now, we are in one lager camp where German company was across the road. Trucks were stopping there, overhaul, fixing tires. And they came and picked up 6 prisoners from our group. And I happened to be one of them. 6 guys across the road. We didn't know what. Maybe you're going to get shot. What can be any worse? So we were fixing tires, flat tires, changing tires. Went to the field, picked some trucks in the field, brought back, put on the trucks, repair, And dinner time we get our pot full of soup. Gosh, that soup tastes good. And a couple of days we pick up already, And that guy's name was George. And trouble was I get sick shortly after. I think 1 week I worked there like that. And I ran temperature. I didn't know what it was, but anyway, they took me in the barrack out of camp. Snow was much snow, only little path to go to that camp. And there was three rows of bunk beds. And they took me there and put an upper 3rd row. I still could go there. And I was running temperature. And I thought that's the end. And one guy used to come and keep fire going. And from there to run out, impossible. Snow was so deep. I couldn't see anymore. Even if I would run away, my eyes were affected because a couple weeks, nothing to eat absolutely. You then first affect your eyes. Now, I don't know how long I was there, a day or two. I woke up and I was so thirsty. Couldn't open my mouth. I said, please bring me some water. I'm dying. He had water there. Kept snow from outside, putting that water that melts. And so that's how he gave me water. Oh, what did it help me? And after that, he says, are you able to walk back to camp? I said, yeah, I think I try it with him. So I walked back to camp. Now I'm in the camp and I'm so weak. I can't even walk to the gate where they divided every morning groups. You go there and you go there. And German soldiers go with you, guarding. But I can't. I was so weak that I couldn't walk to the gate. It was maybe 150 yards gate from my bunk bed. I couldn't walk there. I was done. One morning I decided to hold to barbed wire and walk there. And I get there on a time. George came, picked 6 guys. And I called, George, George. He didn't pay attention. He didn't notice. And somebody from a group said, George, there's a George. He looked at me. Look awful. He come and he picked me up. And 2 prisoners took me under support. And we walked through the camp to the German place. He took me. Now they start building facilities, toilets somewhere, And send us prisoners to bring wood, logs from wood, from bush, cut tree down, and carry on the shoulder and the back. So, but that morning when we walked to a different place, snowfall overnight. And I rubbed my heel. And a German truck picking up some wounded up, because some were wounded, picking up on a truck, and I saw him back limping. He was going to grab pistol and finish me up right there and then. I ran. He didn't shoot out at me. But the rest of the way I ran, I took a shoe off, lay down, and ran down. We were continuously surrounded and then had to escape from the German bag, so to say. Particularly, I'd like to mention about Solovyovskaya Pereprava, called Solovyovskaya Pereprava. It's a river, Dnieper, and Dnieper that runs through the Kiev, but that was way up towards north. And which up there was, I would say, 75 meters maybe. And pretty nice moving too. And now Germans pushed us against that river. And there was no way to escape. They bombarded the bridge. There was a bridge. When we approached that river, I see already dead horses, swollen bellies up, and stink, tremendous. But no shooting. And gradually Knowcom was made towards the river road. Dead horses here. Oh my goodness. Chaos. That's how when we got to cross that river, there is nothing. And says, everybody on his own. That was it. Everybody on his own. So what can one person do? If you are a good swimmer, you probably could swim that Dnieper there. And commanding officer supposed to be Solovyov. I don't know. Well, anyway, now army more and more coming to that place to cross that river. And not far from river, I would say half a kilometer, was a church. And there was a German descent, German soldiers. And they kept shooting. Somebody tried to cross the river. Don't matter what kind of communication he had. Maybe I brought a log. They crossed it and they shoot it. German planes came and broke that three-log bridge. Now what? All day hiding behind the hills. Night came. I decided, whatever come, I'm going to jump in the water. I'm middle-sized swimmer, but that log, that river goes too fast, and I was worried that I get to that church and he's going to probably cut me down. So I jumped in the river, up the river for probably half a kilometer, maybe a little more. In darkness, I swam, and I get some kind of a hold of a board, and there is one guy already. He tried to push me out. He says, "We going to drown both of us." Don't worry, it holds. That's okay. And the river get us to that church. It was dark already. And we passed the church. It just darkness. He couldn't see us. We swam probably a kilometer farther out, like that. So there was a signal, keep to the right. There was a landing on a Russian side. So we went there. They were already waiting for us. I was only in underwear, right? So they keep us new clothes, not new warm clothing, but clean. And now they divided what army you belong, what unit you belong. You go to this road, you go that road, distribution center. So back in my own unit, already communication again. The Finnish authorities told Dad, Mom, now is the time for you to go west if you wish. Go to England, go to America if you want to. But Mom was worried about me. Where is my son? Where is my son? She was thinking that I'm at home already. There was no communication. When Russians pushed all that front from Leningrad towards Berlin, they told Finnish authorities, all Russians who were Russian prior to the war had to be delivered back to Russia, if necessary, by force. And that's what all those leaders of different countries agreed on Yalta Conference in 1943, when they divided, called Carved Europe, to send all the people back to their own station. All the Russians who were in Germany or anywhere, German side, sent back home. So that's what the authorities told Finnish authorities, to send all the Russians who are from Russia, not necessarily speaking Russian, sent back to Russia. Now Mom wants to go home because of me. She thought that I am home. There was no communication during the war whatsoever. They didn't know where I am. I didn't know how they are. So Mom wants to go home because of me. That's it. He couldn't be home. Impossible. So Mom persuaded Dad to go back home. Instead of going back home, they were sent to Siberia. They had to cut the logs. That was invalid. He couldn't work anymore. So he didn't last very long. He passed away. Mom buried him there. And how she organized with other lady, where they get the cow, is beyond me. So where they get the cow, and two women walked from Siberia, from Yaroslav to home by Leningrad and Finnish border at over 1,000 kilometers. Milking cow, drinking cow milk, and that's how they survived. Can you imagine? Slept underneath the bridges. They get home. Now it's a tragic moment. Mom reached our house, and the Russian women are running now. Everything is hers. Our cows, our Russian women. That's theirs. Nothing belongs to Mom. Mom asked her, give me at least something to eat, a little bit. I'm hungry. And she said, we haven't got nothing. But there was son in the same room. Said, Mom, give Aunt at least the bread. So she cut the bread and a glass of milk, and that's what she had to eat. Now what?